Okay. Good.
So, hi again community.
Well, hi guys, once again. So now we'll talk about the battery.
And the charging and everything power related. And let's jump right into it, because one of the first questions we had was battery testing, or more likely, what's the battery of the array of tests we want to do with the battery?
I can go through this one. So
Yeah, please.
battery basically goes through multiple types of tests. Like the first most important one probably you're interested in is like how long the battery lasts. So there the manufacturer that we use basically had a standard of 5.5 hours battery life in PC Mark 8 home test. And I think that MacBook Air has the same battery. Surface has 3.5 hours there. So yeah, our goal was basically like almost double the Surface battery. That's for the longevity. Then also we have a test for charge cycle. So that's how many times you can charge and discharge battery without depleting the capacity. So like without dropping the capacity. Then also there is the
Aging test?
Oh, exactly, the aging test. So then there is an aging test, and the aging test, you put the device in a heated environment, the heated room. I think it's around 50 degrees Celsius, and then you run a lot of like heavy stuff like rendering and so on, and then you basically see how battery performs. So this is basically done to avoid issues like Samsung had with their phones exploding. So you just heat it up, put the battery under stress, and see what happens. And then typically these devices run before they actually crash or something happens to them, or then they run like 2 days non-stop. So these are the kind of tests we do. But we of course we do all the tests, and also we do all the tests needed for the certification purposes, like for the Europe and for the US, and they're really strict on batteries.
They're really
A big array of tests, yeah.
Yes. So next question was, what's the average charge of the battery? And even in prototype 1, what's around the current battery time? So right now the charge time, we are not using the final charger, we are using a reference one that has less power. And right now we are at around 3 hours to fully charge up the V. Is that also your experience?
It should be like 3.5 hours, but
Yeah.
Peter somehow he managed to get 3 hours.
Good
charge.
I was lucky, mine worked perfectly fine. So it was around 3 hours for me.
There wasn't even an option to make like a 1 hour charge for the whole V, but that of course would be affecting battery badly, like the life cycle
Yes,
itself.
it would be affecting life cycle very badly, and because we want to have, you give you a long battery that lives long, we were also considering, just let it charge a bit slower, because you still get a great battery. Also, the current charge time, the current battery run time, better phrase it that way. You remember probably the Surface Pro 4 that had huge battery issues, and within a month Microsoft jumped up from I think 4 hours battery life to around 7 hours battery life. We are right now at that stage. Right around now we have around 5 hours to 5.5 of battery life, and those are we expect to jump up to 10 plus. We're also getting many battery optimizations done that Microsoft has not in their Surface. And with that, I'm confident that we're easily gonna reach our 10
and I think
hours.
currently that battery life that Peter just mentioned is having like a full screen brightness all the time, connected to the internet and doing like some more intensive work. We haven't and it's also for one of the early prototypes, because Peter been testing with this one now.
Yeah.
So it's one of now already it is already like 6.5, 7 hours. More, but still, yes, so exactly. So we're very confident on reaching the goal that we've promised to all the users, which is like all-day battery life.
Yeah, the next question was, is the battery charge limiting still on cards? And I've written it down because I was not sure on remembering
Could you
it.
repeat that question? What did you say?
Battery charge limiting, basically that you say, okay, I just want my V battery to charge to only up to 80%, so my battery lives a bit longer. And we had a look. We can unfortunately not make it at launch, but in our talks that we have with our partners, we were thinking about maybe adding it later. This is not a confirmation, but we will have a look how much work it is, how much people want it, because if it's really a highly requested feature, we will definitely have a look into providing it. Next question is, which voltage and ampere combinations can be used to charge the V? This also ties in with the power delivery question, which power delivery version does the V support? We support the latest version right now, that's Power Delivery 2.0 with the power rules. And right now we are still refining our charging circuit. Right now the prototypes charge with 24 watts. That would mean within a runtime you would charge the V up completely with our high power charger. With our one that we will be delivering, you should charge it up in around 2.5 hours fully, but we are still tweaking it to optimize like the charge time to get it short down and not get hot as well. Next question is battery getting hot during charging. I think I answered that and you answered that. Already we have tests running to make sure we don't produce a big Note 7, basically.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes. Next question was that someone knows that some Windows tablets have standby or other power management problems. In particular,
Sorry, could you repeat that one? What was the question?
I'm reading it still right now. Someone noticed that some Windows tablets have standby or other power management problems. In particular, some don't reboot and instead shut down when you tell them to reboot. And others go to standby and don't wake up. And you want to know if we have a dedicated set of tests for power later functionality.
Yeah, I can answer this one. Yeah, I mean, like that's exactly the kind of issues that I was talking about in the previous video. That like so many companies do launch their products not ready, like raw, and then they do tend to have these issues. Like it will not happen to us because we have a really close collaboration with Microsoft, and we are just making sure that these things don't happen, and like that you can use the device, as your daily machine flawlessly. So. Well, it just would not happen. So, like, you'll tell us if it happens or not when you receive the test devices, yeah, that's it. So, like, it just would not happen. It's ridiculous. It's not supposed to happen, and it's truly irritating when this kind of stuff happens to it.
Yeah, we will touch more on the software, but we have really a huge amount of partners, and all of them are focused to make sure that the software experience as well as the hardware experience is gonna be amazing. So next question is if we can have a power plug instead of a power brick right on socket. Unfortunately, as we see with our reference charger, we will be using a power brick right on the socket. And also the last question, if we can show the charger plugged into a power strip with all other slots occupied by other cords, I'm afraid it could be too big and obstruct other sockets in the strip. Unfortunately, I don't have the R model with me, but this one is rather similar in size. Ours will just be a bit longer. It should be basically a square, and with the thickness as well. I will go around, show it to you through the camera, and then we will go to the next video.
But guys, I have posted a picture actually before, like where
Yes.
it shows the exact dimensions of our charger.
So this is the current charger, the reference one. We will be like 1 centimeter thicker in this area, and it will be basically completely square shaped. In this kind of area. So yeah, that's it, and we will see you in the next video for the next set of questions.
See you guys.